Hi, thanks for coming on. Andy speaking on Monday 31st of January. Looking back at games at the weekend in Scotland and the National League, looking back at the month's results of January and looking ahead to games on Tuesday night. I think there's some really decent bets on Tuesday, and hopefully we can kick the month off with, hopefully all of them will win. We're in Scotland and a non-league, but let's get on with these results first. Let's look back at the weekend. It was a fantastic weekend for us. We'll come to that and go through it. I'm really cross there's a bet I missed. I'll talk to you about that now. Ross Rangers 3-3. I think Rangers were lucky, weren't they? I'm not going to say Rangers were lucky. But I think looking at the figures, you expected Rangers to blitz Ross. They were behind in the game. And there were two late goals as well from each side, but fantastic point for Ross. Aberdeen St Johnstone was off. Celtic 1, Dundee United 0. Again, I think Celtic had somebody sent off, didn't they? And that was a really late goal for them. Dundee St Mirren was off. Hearts 2, Motherwell 0. We weren't with any of these bets in the Premiership. The bottom one, absolutely furious with. When I went back sort of like over a week ago, and I looked at two games Hibernian had. They had Motherwell away, Livingston at home. Do you know, I made my mind up to back against Hibs both times. I'm not going to say I was confident or overconfident with Motherwell, but the way I look at things and my figures told me to oppose them twice. I opposed them the other night against Motherwell. It was 0-0. I left this game alone. Livingston won. 4-1 winner we could have had. Absolutely furious with myself for that. Go back through any of the other videos. I always say that anything sort of mid-20s, as long as there's a point in it, excuse me, you got to back it. We should have backed Livingston. It should have been a members bet, and it wasn't. I'm absolutely furious with myself. Hibs have got a soft centre. That they got away with the draw against Motherwell. They didn't get away with it against Livingston. As I say, I made my mind to, a week ago to back against them twice. I did it once. I didn't do it the second time. We should have been all over this. I don't know why. Let's go on Championship. Championship was very good for us. Morton 2, Wraith 2. I didn't see the game actually Friday night. I was intending to, but I got caught up with something else. I know Morton were in front, then Wraith were in front, but probably a fair result. Arbroath Partick was off. Hamilton 1, Ayr 1. Could have made a case for backing Hamilton. I almost did. There's 3 bets which I almost did. Add on to what we got on Hamilton was one of them. Livingston was the other, and Falkirk was the other. But I didn't. And it didn't pay well for us because I would have sooner have backed all them 3 and only had Livingston win, because we'd have made a nice profit from the bets. Kilmarnock 1, Inverness 0. We were 2 points on this, and we were on Kilmarnock to win to 0. Now, since Derek McInnes has been there, I know I mention his name all the time, but he's best manager in this league by a long way. If you took the 7-4 about Kelly to win the league, they're evens odds on in places now. They'll win it now. I've little doubt about that. And if you look at the performances, they just totally echo Derek McInnes' sort of football philosophy. You get in front, you keep a clean sheet. 2-0 away at Queen of the South, 1-0 against Inverness. The game against Partick the other week, people say, oh well, Partick deserved a draw, but it was a worldy strike from about 25 yards that got Partick the draw. So as I said to you when Derek McInnes came into the job, I said they'd be tough to beat. They'd win ugly, but they'll win. And they will keep winning. And there'll be many a times between now and the end of the season when they win 1-0, 2-0. Trust me. They're away at Arbroath on Friday night. That's going to be a massive game. Wouldn't surprise me if it was 0-0. But I'm pretty certain I'm going to be backing Killy. I've not looked at the prices yet. I've not really started work on this today, but I will look at it. But I'll be certainly interested in that game on Friday. But thankfully, 2 points to win on Kilmarnock. 1 point on Kilmarnock to win to 0. I nearly went with Kilmarnock to win half-time, full-time. It was 19-10. I was really tempted with that as well. And I didn't do it. I just sort of had it in my head that it could possibly be a real ball fest, but I did say at the same time I expected a bit of a statement, and I thought they would start on the front foot, Killy, and score early, and they did. And again, that's another bet we could have had, but I mean, you could talk like this about every game. Queen of the South 0, done firmly 2. Could have made a bet, could have made an excuse to back Queen of the South. I don't trust them, I never do. And that's exactly why. They're better on the road, actually. League One, we had 2 bets here. Clyde 2, Alloa 1. I thought this was a decent bet. As I said to members when I gave them the bet, I said, sadly, we're backing against our outright selection, but we have to. They actually went on the drift, Clyde. I think you could have got 19-10. Absolute whopping price that for a team with 42% chance. Really was. I mean, they are outsiders now for the playoffs. Make no mistake about that. Dumbarton 2, Cove 2. Bit of a slip up there from Cove. I don't think it's done any damage long term. East 5-0, Peterhead 0. I knew somebody was at that game. Said he'd as soon watched paint dry. Montrose 2, Falkirk 1. I was nearly with this. I really was. I didn't talk myself into it or out of it, but I looked at when I assessed the game. Montrose, they don't seem to play as well at Links Park than they do on the road, and I just could see this Falkirk turning up here, new manager bounce, and as I say, it was one of the 3 which I did tinker with. Hamilton and Livingston were the others. I wish we had done them all, and the Killy half-time, full-time. But where do you stop? You could have made 10 or 11 bets this week, and it's just too much. Queen's Park 1, Airdrie 1. We were Queen's Park. As I said, there was money for Queen's Park before I put this out. They'd been supported. I did expect. They're not my favourite team. They've been turned over at short odds a lot this season. Well, not necessarily turned over, but not won. I thought they would probably win this game, considering that Airdrie's form on the road against the top boys isn't the best. I think that's where Queens are. I think that they're 4th or 5th best now. Can only see it being between. Well, I think Cove are probably away and gone, but there could be some twists before the end of the season. I'm sure Montrose and Airdrie will try and fight it all the way. League 2. We had a couple of bets here, didn't we? But Albion 0, Carnabeath 1. As I said to you at the time, there's absolutely no way ever I could back Albion Rovers at odds on. Doesn't matter. I put them in at evens. They were 5-6. I would have wanted sort of 5-4 to have an interest in Albion, really. But the figure was right. I always double and treble check things. Carnabeath 1, and that's what I mean about backing Albion. You don't do it. Anna 0, Stirling 0. Another ball fest. Almost like as bad as a ball fest I went to on Saturday night between Eastleigh and Chesterfield. Forfar Edinburgh was off, but I think that's going to be played tonight. I'm recording this Monday morning, so I don't really know. But I think that was penciled in for tonight. But obviously, there's storm problems upon the East Coast, so I honestly can't say whether that is going to be on, but it has been penciled in. Kelty 3, Stranraer 2, Weedon Kelty half-time, full-time. I looked at this, it was 2-0 at half-time, and I made my way to Silver Lake Stadium, and I stopped a couple of times and checked the scores. It was 2-2. I thought, crikey. But Kelty did eventually win. I don't know. I don't think their mind's fully on it for 90 minutes at the moment. I think there's a bit of a we're home and hosed element crept in possibly. But the bet won. Stonehouse 2, Elgin 1. We were with Elgin. There was plenty in it, 0.57. I think I'm always happy to. I'm not always happy, but in certain cases I think. You can make a strong enough case, and I just thought 0.57 at 38% was probably decent value. So, but it lost. Results. January, it wasn't looking good, was it, going into this weekend? That's where we were up until the weekend. 0.62 down. But I did. Kilmarnock have been so good to us, haven't they? 2 points to win there. Back to them again against Cardiff at 7-4. Again here, again to win 2-0. Kilmarnock have really, well, they've saved the month. Fantastic appointment, Derek McInnes, as I keep saying. It was a really, really decent weekend for us, and I thought it was a favourable coupon. And the other thing, this was a draw. This was a draw. It's not like we're backing teams that are going out and getting beaten or getting stuffed. It's a lot of draws, which is frustrating. But that's a really decent month. I would take that every single month of the year, every week of the year, because it brings me to, around a 50% strike rate, profit of 4, which is generally about 1 a week. If I can make a point a week, I will take that all day long, as should anybody. It's not about being greedy in this game. It's about making long-term sustainable, substantial profits. And if someone says to me, you're going to make 50%, 4 points a month, profit on investment 19%, every day of the week will I shake their hand and snap them off. So, but I got a feeling we could start this month off really, really well. We'll come to that in a minute. Non-league, 6 bets, Notts County to beat Bromley. They disappointed County. I probably won't give them another chance. There was a big opportunity here for them to turn up and win. They didn't. It was a poor performance. Credit to Bromley. The National League North was absolutely fantastic to us. 3 bets advised, all won. Boston 4, Chester 0, Chorley 3, Hereford 2, Southport 2, Guiseley 1. All massively highly rated as well. I'll come to that in a minute, because we'll have a quick look at the value table for the week. And I know somebody that only backed these 3 because of the figures. And Hemel Hempstead, Chippenham, that was 0-0. Hemel Hempstead lost 40 and 39, 42, 58, 59, 63. So they were massively rated highly. These teams, Boston to me was probably the bet of the week. We'll have a quick look at this value table anyway. This is like the teams rated 40% and over from Scotland and non-league with value in. Now the teams in blue, the teams that won, the teams in italic didn't. Queen's Park drew, but that's by the by. This game hasn't been played. So, but if we filtered that down even more and looked at the teams this week that were rated over 50% with value in them, we've got quite a nice little table here of 7, haven't we? 4 of them won, 4 are still to play. And both of these teams drew, Hamilton and Queen's Park. So that if I look at a table like that and I just think to myself, 7 bets here, rated over 50, all have got value in, 4 have won, 2 have drawn, the other one's still to play. I think that tells me that I've assessed those games absolutely bang on the nail. Because obviously if a game's a draw, yes, you've lost your money, but it's not like you've gone and backed the wrong team or something like that, or your mathematics is wrong about it. But if you look at this, the best value teams of the week were Boston and Kilmarnock. Southport were rated higher, as were Chorley, but you got 0.23 and 0.1 there, but you got 0.3 at 55 and 0.38 at 58. That was probably the best bet of the week, because it was 3rd highest rated, 4th highest rated, bordering 60%, over 1/3 of a point in it, and they dotted up 4-0. And these are the bread and butter bets of if you're betting for a living or you're trying to make money at it. If you can get bets at 11 to 10 that are going to win 55% of the time, you can't not finish in front. Give me 50% winners at 5-4 every day of the week. We can't not be in front, and this is why it's a slow building process, football betting. But I was really impressed with this, I have to say, and it was a good weekend for us. Right, let's go on then. Tomorrow's the 1st of February. There's some absolute cracking value there, and there really, really is. Now, members bets, these are members bets, okay? So I'm putting them all out here to start the month, because I mean it's a bit of a bonus for us, isn't it, this week? So I'll give you the staking as well. That is a 2-point win bet. All the rest of them are 1-point wins. So let's start off Livingston, St Johnstone. Then Livingston, they've only won 3 at home, but recent form's been decent. They've won 4 of the last 7 games, all told, and their only defeats have been at Rangers and Motherwell. I think that's decent form. They're more than up to accounting for St Johnstone. I mean, they've lost 8 of their last 9 games. They've lost their last 4 on the road and not scored in any of them. I think Livingston, I'm not going to say it's a bank job or it's a good thing, but I certainly think Livy are more than up to taking care of St Johnstone. I've got them in 10-11. They're available at 13-10. It's a massive price discrepancy. I'm all over all of these bets tomorrow night anyway. I think they'll win. Ross Aberdeen, 40-24-36. I think Ross should be favourites. I really do. And struggling to get my head round how come Aberdeen are. I think it's probably based on name and reputation rather than facts. I mean, let's look at Ross's. It's 0.75 in it at 40%. It's a must bet. I mean, they've won 3 of the last 6 at home. Ross, their only defeats come against Celtic. They nearly turned over Rangers here at the weekend, and that tells me that Dingwall is a tough place to play at the moment. Aberdeen aren't gonna relish this. They always score. They're playing an Aberdeen side that have lost 7 of the last 9 on the road. And they've won once in those 9 games on the road, Aberdeen, and that was at the bottom club, St Johnstone. Aberdeen are poor away. Let's make no bones about that. They're poor away. They're going to a Ross team that's going to be cock-a-hoop after that result at the weekend. The only negative, it's only a slight one, that Aberdeen had the weekend off, and Ross had a fierce game against Rangers, and whether that's left a mark, but even if it has, even if you were to swap it around and make Ross 36%, Ross still have to be backed, but I think they should be favourites for this game. I don't understand where the bookmakers are coming from. If I'm wrong, I hold my hands up. I often am wrong, and in a bet like this I'm going to be wrong 60% of the time. But if you're not going to back 9-4 shots that win 40% of the time, you need your head seen to, because we're getting 3/4 of a point extra in this. It's a must bet. Partick Air, this was almost a maximum. I was tempted to put this as a maximum bet, but I'm going to go 2 points. I mean, they're still in the mix in the championship. I don't think they'll win it. I think Kilmarnock will win it. But the defeats at home this season have come to Kilmarnock and Arbroath, which are the top 2 in the league. They've conceded 1 goal in the last 6 at home. They won this fixture 4-0 earlier in the season against an Ayr team that's won once on the road all season. I can't see anything other than a Partick win. They should be 8-15. We're getting 3-4. There's 0.22 in it. Again, it's an absolute must bet. I think the bookmakers have got these games very wrong. I might have got them wrong, but I mean, I'm chancing 4 points out tomorrow night to find out. I think Partick will win. National League, 1 game here. I think this is standout Southend. I've got them in at even money. They've won 4 of the last 5, and they've won 6 from 8 against teams below them. They should be far shorter. Barnet fit into that below them category. 50%. And Southend to me are a team at the moment as well, which they're building. Like when Hartlepool came down, Chesterfield came down. It takes a season, maybe a season and a half, and then you start seeing the best of them. I think Southend are going to be a real threat. Maybe not next season, but certainly the season after. I mean, obviously they could lose a lot of players in the summer, things like that, but I just think that they're a team which is now, they've got an identity, and they're going the right way, and I think they'll beat Barnet tomorrow night. And as I say, all of these four teams, I can make strong cases for all of them, and the prices, we're getting massive value, guys. We really are. And if we go back to the value table of the over 50%, Livingston, Partick and Southend fit into that table. But as I say, this is a huge chunk of value in Ross County. So there we are. It's Monday, 31st of January. It's morning. I'm just about to get started on the Scottish games at the weekend. But this was something, as I say, I wanted to put up and get this out here, because I think, obviously, I've put all the members' bets up there for tomorrow night. Those bets have been sent out by email this morning. I'm putting them up here now for everybody to see. So those are the first three members' bets of February. Eastleigh Chesterfield I went to at the weekend. It was an absolutely abysmal game. It really was. I wish I'd never gone. I could have watched it on BT. I wish I had. Well, I probably would have turned it off on BT. It was a poor game. Problems with the Chesterfield manager at the moment, James Rowe. He's been suspended. I don't know how that's going to unfold, but Stockport look the side, don't they, at the moment in that league? They won again at the weekend, but fingers crossed Chesterfield can get it back on track. But that's it for Monday, guys. I'll be back next, probably Thursday, because there's a big game on Friday between Arbroath and Kilmarnock. I'll try and get all the Scottish done for then. We may have to do 2 videos this week. I may have to do the non-league on the Friday. But bet these: 1 point Livingston, 1 point Ross, 2 points Partick, 1 point Southend. That's what I'm backing. And don't forget, my stake in the National Leagues is half of what it is in the Scottish. So that's it. Back Thursday. Bye for now.